Hey everybody, my name is Christian and this is Treasure Town, and I'm going to be presenting on one of the most interesting and historically significant counterfeit pieces ever recorded in the numismatic industry. And I've got the coin right here. This is supposed to be a 1907 $20 gold high relief double eagle St. Gaudens coin. Very valuable, at least $10,000. We came across the coin in the coin shop a few weeks ago, and thankfully, based on a couple of very minor markings, we were able to be alerted to the coin status as being counterfeit. And I want to go through the backstory of these so-called Omega Man fakes and discuss exactly how these coins were discovered, what their backstory is, and why, after all of these years, no culprit has ever been found. These fakes are widely regarded as the best ever recorded in the numismatic industry. Now, obviously, there may be some better fakes out there because we haven't discovered them yet, but for now, this was a coin that was sold many times. The counterfeiter likely profited an enormous amount, and to this day, nobody knows the solution to the mystery. So first, I'm going to take a look at the coin itself, and then we'll go to a PowerPoint presentation where I can discuss the entire backstory so that you know the story of the Omega Man fake. So here is the 1907 Omega Man fake, and you can see the date with the Roman numerals, very beautiful, obviously a great design overall, but there are three small markings that we'll get into with close-ups that essentially give this coin away as being fake, and they're best seen through a camera or microscope, but there are some small tooling marks in the ray above the M. There's also a little bit in the hair. It's very difficult to get this close up on camera. And then there's also going to be a little mark with an omega, believe it or not, in the tail part of the eagle. Now, I'm not sure if I can get a zoom in on this. I'll definitely have some photos for you, but I think that you can actually see it. And it's going to be, I'll try to circle it with my camera, but there it is, a tiny little marking of the omega in the claw of the eagle. But now I'm going to get into the backstory, how this was discovered, and show you some real close-up photos so that you know exactly what to look for and are just alerted in terms of what is one of the best fakes in history. So we're going to get started with a little bit of the backstory on the coins, and then we'll circle back around as I said earlier. But essentially the story begins in the early 1970s at the American Numismatic Association Certification Service, and that's their coin grading service. And what happened was there was a remarkable influx of 1907 $20 St. Gaudens Double Eagles, and at first it was just a little bit peculiar, but then people really kind of caught on and said something's wrong here. And normally when there's a counterfeit coin that's being produced, it's really easy for a grading service to quickly identify the counterfeit coins and then subsequently not grade any as genuine. But this coin did not raise a ton of eyebrows because of the high quality of the fake. It's a 90% gold coin. The fakers, whoever they are, and they still remain a mystery, used 90% gold, so they weren't skimping on trying to pass some other metal off as real gold. They had great striking process. I believe that this coin took 3 to 5 presses to actually strike the coin, and similar attention to detail was used here. And in addition to all of that, there were over 10,000, I believe it was somewhere in the 12,000s of these coins made. So there could be some random chance where a lot of these coins would be certified. Maybe there was a hoard discovered of them or something, but these coins definitely had that genuine striking process. They weren't being pressed, where there are often a lot of weird markings or bubbles that are associated with pressed coins. After some really close inspection of these coins, it was crazy, but that omega mark was found, as I showed you before, kind of in the claw and tail of that eagle right there in that opening, and as such the coin was discovered. So next we have the different tooling and symbols that gave this coin away. Obviously there is the omega. It's really faint and it's difficult to see, but that's what it is. And then you also have those tooling marks, as I was saying. Looks like a little bit of scratching in the hair and some scratching above the M in the ray of the sun. So that's what I was talking about in terms of how to find them. But the takeaway here is that when you're dealing with this type of gold, so 1907 Double Eagles, and I'll actually give you a couple more coins that the Omega Man faked, you have to look and pay really careful attention. The amount of these that were made were over 20,000, which is an enormous amount. That's like $2 million of gold and at that time, and about $300 million in market value if they were not recognized as counterfeit. And the other coins that you really do need to look out for with these Omega Man is the 1874, 1878, and 1882 $3 gold coins. As you can see, there's a little bit of an Omega in the R there, and you'll also find that on 1910, 1913, and 1926 $10 gold eagles, again in that R. And the motives for this are pretty unknown. It could have been a group of people or one person that just wanted to make a lot of money. They certainly made a lot of money on these coins, I'm sure. And the other idea is that it could have been related to Vietnam, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but that the Omega symbol was potentially against Vietnam, and there was also some thought that Russia could be involved, as Russia had a lot of gold reserves and potentially could try to destabilize economically. But in my opinion, that theory doesn't really make sense, because there's a lot better ways that you can do that than pouring in fake collectible gold coins into a market. But you never know what the strategy could be, but that was just one proposed theory. But regardless, I'm glad that I could be able to bring these coins to you. Make sure that you exercise caution when buying any of the aforementioned gold pieces, and I hope you now know the story of what's probably the best detected counterfeit coin ever. The coins actually have numismatic value if you own one yourself. They are such good counterfeits that they are even sought after, and so you definitely would not want to melt this type of coin down. There are markets for collecting counterfeit coins, but hope you enjoyed, and watch out for those fakes. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay in contact with me on my Instagram, TreasureTownYT, Facebook, TreasureTown, or my website, TreasureTownYT.com. And I love receiving packages from you guys. I'll unbox them in a video once I get enough, and my address for that is TreasureTown, P.O. Box 201, Greenwich, Connecticut, 06836. So I'll see you on some of my other videos.